Let's go. You know what it is.
Here we
This is the
go.
DC Incentives Podcast. And you already know what it is. We got yours truly. I'm here, the host, and right besides me, you already know who it is. It's Nyron.
Hello.
And we got a special guest here. Yo, if y'all remember last time where
Okay, let's hear it.
we was at an event, get to the bag event, and right now he's here about to give us gems. Please, let's give him a drum roll. Introduce yourself.
Thanks, man. Thanks. My name is Hansome Kelly. Shall I leave it at that or introduce the whole thing? Like,
You can introduce
Whatever you want,
thing.
man.
all right,
Whatever
well,
you want.
my name is Hansome Kelly. I'm a full-time day trader and financial coach, as well as a trading coach. So what I do is I teach others how to trade the financial markets, as well as how to utilize their credit to build wealth.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a great intro. Great intro.
Yeah,
We need that
yeah.
in these economic times for sure.
Oh man, 1000%. Man. It's insane. It's gonna be a good episode. I can already see it. If you're gonna say that, you're gonna get me going. You're gonna get me going.
Yeah. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
All right,
man.
so let's go with the questions. All right, so talk about yourself. Talk about your a summary of yourself. What made you get financially free? Everything.
All right. Well, let me start with talking about myself financially free wise. Well, one day I was working and I was working some youth. So I don't know the exact year. It had to be, I don't know the exact year, but I was doing some youth. And I know that on our paycheck would be $337 and like something cents. I've got the actual cents, but I knew it was 337. So one month, I want to say the month, yeah, I was working at SQPA. So I was doing some youth with them. And then yeah, the paycheck was like 337. Like we would get that for some youth. And one month I spent $1,500. And I remember because like I was tracking it down. And then from there, I was like, how the hell did I spend this much money? I wasn't even making that much money. So then from there, I like decided to like, all right, like I gotta figure out how is it. Hold on, can I curse on here?
Yes, you can.
I'm just asking because things are like full off, and I'm like, I don't want to, just come off that way. But yeah, so I was like, tracking my things down and writing my numbers, and I was like, I don't even make that much money. So how can I spend that much money? And that's when I realized, obviously, I'm spending way more than what I had coming in. So from there, I tried to figure out like how can I find out more about finances and how it works. So I did what made the most sense at that time because I didn't have money. So I went to the library and I found this book called Money Master the Game. And then from there, yeah, that was like a pretty much a cheat code to it. But besides that, besides that book as well, I just started reading about like money overall and seeing what works, what didn't work for others. And once I got that set, I was good to go.
Okay. So I don't want to backtrack too far back, but before you started working with kids, can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing, what led you to working with those kids, and exactly what you spent that week to spend $1,500?
No. It wasn't that week. It was the entire month. So the entire month I spent $1,500.
Either way, that's a lot of money.
Looking back, especially at that time too. Looking back, I was just probably just bullshitting around, like going out with friends, girls, shit like that, buying sneakers, because that's also when like I just really got like some, I guess at that time I felt was good paying job. So obviously especially where we come from, when we get money, first thing we do is splurge, right? It's like I wish I had these shirts, sneakers, all that stuff. So just buying things that I didn't really need to buy. So I spent a lot of things on that. But what got me into like I guess working with kids overall was I worked at IS8, and I worked there again for some youth, and then from there they just liked me. They brought me back on. But besides that, though, my upbringing, my mom, like all the kids used to always be at my house. So my mom would always like take care of all of us. And looking back, I don't know how the hell she did it because we were like extremely poor. And looking back, it's funny because you don't realize how tough you had it growing up until you see memes and stuff about like things I had back then. You're like, oh, that was me. Like, like sometimes you go to sleep for dinner. Like, you do that or
that
like,
was you?
Yeah, like, and then like sometimes the lights would be off and it's like, okay, the lights is off tonight. I didn't know that it was like that's not a normal thing that's supposed to happen. But like, even like, I guess quote unquote struggle meals. So those things as well. I mean, looking back, I feel it was needed because a lot of people they forget, those things, but those things that would make you, either better or for worse. So I don't ever take those things for granted, when I do look back from that.
All right, and you're from Queens, New York, right?
Oh yeah, South Jamaica, born and raised.
South Jamaica.
Oh, South Jamaica, Queens. You already know what it is.
Yeah, we're all from Queens here, so we didn't necessarily all grow up in the same neighborhood, but we're all from the same area. To be quite honest. So you're working at a summer program. Did you finish college at the time?
A million questions.
I'm sorry. Questions. Yeah, I'm the questions guy.
No, you're great. You're great. Another thing as well. Let me come back to this part because I didn't start off reading Money Master the Game, so that was an error. I forgot what book I read for starters, but I eventually read Money Master the Game, and to me, that's like a financial Bible. So a quick lesson is anyone who's watching this, if you need help with money. It's a very long book, but Money Master the Game, I feel like a financial Bible. It goes into personal finance. It goes into investing into the stock market. It goes into ETFs. Like it literally gives you what you need. And it's from those. It's like an interview from those who are great in those fields. So I highly recommend you guys take some thought into doing that.
Is that from Tony Roberts?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Tony Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah. And he has a follow-up book called Unshaken, but that one is not the same. I have it over there too, Money Master the Game. Yeah, it's over there. But yeah, that book is incredible.
So I just want to walk through the journey of how you became who you are. So we went through childhood, sometimes where it was a little rough, but your mom was always able to provide. She was sort of like a superhero, can I say?
Yeah, majority of what I do and then like how I am as a person is from her upbringing. Right. Regardless if it's me, philanthropy, my entrepreneurship, helping others out as well. It's from her. Or even me just being rebellious like that. I was raised on a sense of always ask questions and question everything. So sometimes that helped me out and sometimes that got me in some shit. But I mean, overall, it worked out for me. Like it came to a point where, I was a kid and I'm asking teachers like, why are we learning this? Right. And it's like, you're not supposed to, like looking back, it's like, how the hell is like, how dare you? You're a little kid asking an adult why they're doing their job. Like, just do the work, but looking back is like, I felt that helped me out. It just made me realize and see like, a lot of things just weren't for me. And, and to answer your question, I didn't go to college. So I am a college administration dropout.
Okay.
That's what I call myself.
You got accepted, but you didn't go.
Not even that. I went to go try and get accepted, but I just didn't go. Like that was really what it was. Is this and even what that happened? Too, like, yeah. So the main reason why I decided not to go to college is because when I was a junior, I was looking to the statistics of those getting a job within their field. And at that time, it was like the late 20%. I don't know the exact number right now, but it was like 20%. Something. It's like, let's say like 29%. And the year before that, it was in the 30s. And the year before that, it was like late 30s. So I realized that every year it kept going down from someone getting a job within the graduating field. So I said to myself, like, and then also my sister at that time, she was still in student loan debt. So I said to myself, like, I don't want to be 37 years old still paying back student loan. I don't see the reason for me to go to college. So even that as well, because like, throughout my whole journey, my mom always been supportive of me. And if I'm wrong, she'll like, well, you're wrong. Now let's do this. Like she'll teach me those lessons that way. So she said, right, like, what are you going to do if you don't go to college? I said, well, I'll get a trade, right? So at that time, I decided to become an exterminator. And it's mainly because, like, they were making $1,600 a week. You just have to go and get certified for it. Yeah, exterminators, yeah. Well, now it's probably more than that. But exterminators, they make, if you call me up and I go do, let's say I take care of pest problem for you, that's like $800 minimum, like just for me to go do that. And if I'm working for a company, I'll probably get a little less than that. But if I'm working on my own, I'm definitely getting $1,000 for it. It's a lot. It's a very good business. But yeah, so I decided to do that. And in the process of me becoming certified, that's when I found out about trading. But I already know you guys are going to ask that question. So
we're coming to it. It's happening. We just want to establish a journey of how you got to where you are. So walk me back to that summer. So it's the summer.
So back to
got this job working with kids, right? You get that $315 check. You have a monthly expense of $1,500.
Yeah.
What happens?
I went broke. Well, I didn't go broke, but it's like I'm overspending. Like looking back, if you're spending more than you have coming in, you're pretty much, in due time, you're going to be broke. So like, again, it's just like, I just went to the library, got a book about money, and then I started reading about that. And then from there, it went from book to book. And then it came to personal development. I started reading other stuff from there as well. I got into network marketing, but I'm a little fast forward in the story. But back to the whole the month and everything. I mean, I was just overspending. It's really like nothing like deep or like a huge gem from that. I just spent more than I had coming in. I had to do something different because obviously I wanted more money, especially where you guys, we all come from. Like you look around, you see the flash and everything. You want that. You want to live like that. And you don't live like that spending more than you have coming in. So some shit got to change.
Right. Like, what even inspired you to go to the library and get that book, that specific book? Like, that's such a huge shift in your life, right? Because I'm not going to say you were lost or anything, but you kind of had like a steady job working with kids. You had this monthly expense, and suddenly you read a book, and it's like your life changed on a dime. What happened?
So from around us, I mean, like those who had money were either drug dealers or they're like, on their way to the NBA. They never look back. Well, maybe the rappers, right? Because, well, not really rappers, but we see that. I didn't want to do drugs. I didn't want to be a drug dealer. So it's like accident wasn't really helpful. And then going to like rappers, rap wasn't my thing. Not my thing, but like I'm not a rapper. I can't rap. So like that was out of the question. And then like, asking my mom, she always like tell me like basic stuff like, don't spend more than you have coming in. So like who can I go to about that? I don't know any rich person. And then like again, like the rich people who we do know about, they write books. So I was like, well, if they wrote a book about it, maybe that'll help me out. So I just thought that through and it helped out. Like, and it's funny because like, especially Black people, as we don't like to read books, but a lot of times, like the whole saying goes, you want to hide something from a Black person, put it in a book.
Put it in a book, right?
Things change now with social media. We have more access and availability. But back then around that time, it's just, I want to know. So like, let me go and read a book. And it was difficult because I didn't like reading, especially in school, but I realized the reason why I didn't like reading was because the things I was reading wasn't interesting to me. Like, I don't care about Harry Potter. I don't care about Twilight. I don't care about the Mice and Men, that story. I don't care about that. So during school, that's why I didn't engage, in like literacy and stuff because I didn't care for it. But like learning about something that's going to impact me, impact my wallet, I care about that. So I just I stay like even what I read now, and because some people ask me to like, hell, what are you reading today? Or no, what are you reading this week? And I tell them like, what I'm reading, it may not benefit you because I'm reading things that's good. Like what I'm personally going through right now, it's going to help me out. Like, so if I tell you what I'm reading, yeah, you may want to read it, but it may not help you out for right now. You may need to read something that deals with your current situation. That's going to help you and come with a solution. So like, so it boils down to that. But yeah, to sum that whole part up, I just continue to focus on what things are going to help my situation out and shy away from things that's like just going to waste time. But it was hard reading, honestly, because like, sometimes I'll read like 10 pages and be like, I'm done. So
that's all it took, huh?
Wait, is it? Yeah, your thing.
Yeah. Sorry. My camera's kind of like in and out. I'm fixing it, but don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Okay. But yeah, like I read like 10 pages and I'm like, God damn, like, it was like mentally challenging. And then from there, I just stay consistent with that. And 10 turned into like 30 turned into more. And, I started reading a book and I kept reading and it just became very beneficial and good. But
Tony Robbins, that was your first book?
No. See, that's why I want to go back with the story. That wasn't my first actual book. I initially got to that. The first actual book, I don't know off the top of my head as of right now. I want to say it was probably Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I believe it was that. I don't want to quote myself on it, but looking back, I think that was the first one I read. And then from there, things just took off. And again, I was in a personal finance section and that just caught my eye. It was the whole covenary stuff. So, but if I had looked at other books that wasn't really appealing, I obviously didn't pick it up, and that was the reason why.
Gotcha. Okay. So now that Is there any more questions, Nairo? I'm sorry.
I mean, there's always going to be questions. I did this part specifically for all of us.
Go ahead.
You sure, Rich?
Yes.
All right, fine, perfect. So you read that book.
Right.
You got the expenses, you got the income. What was your next step? What happened then?
Applying the info. Well, the next step as in like what got me there. Oh, perfect. All right. So I started network marketing, and that's where everything really changed. Like that's when I really
why
got
network
into
marketing? Like why'd you even choose that?
So one day, me and my friend at that time, he was talking to this girl, and he's like, "Yo, like she invited us over, to some type of event." I'm like, "I'm down. Like, girl's gonna be there. I'm down." So we both went up there, and then it was a presentation, and then like I'm watching it, I'm like, I didn't really care for it because I'm thinking like, we're here for something else. But all right, we're here, we're watching whatever. We got free. It wasn't free food, it was like free snacks, drinks and stuff. So we're watching. And it was a presentation to a travel company, and everything was just amazing. And then like the actual person who was there, I saw pictures of her as well. So the way she presented it, she was traveling these places, she was driving a BMW. I'm like, yo, this is it. Like we got it. We found it. Like we don't got to do this other shit no more, man. We found it, man. So I jumped in, and that started personal development. And that's when I realized, like, yo, the world is actually different. But all of this would never happen if the exposure of network marketing didn't come into play. And I feel that, especially, again, where we come from, we're exposed to the same stuff. We're exposed to, the cars and everything, but again, it's like, if you have this money, drug dealer, right? Or like, got to be an athlete or, a rapper. Like without that, you're not getting it. So like the fact that we're exposed to that changed everything. So being exposed to network marketing and seeing that you don't have to go that route, right? You can do personal development. You can work on yourself more, apply these small things, and then you can live that type of lifestyle. It's like, oh shit. I was like, let's jump into it. So I started doing network marketing, and that's what initially brought me to trading, because I always wanted to be rich, right? Like even growing up as well, like my mom, she would take us to school. So before we do that, we watched like New York One. And like I think like every few minutes they will show like their finance section, and Warren Buffett would be there. And at that time he was the richest person, so he got his money through stocks. So I know like initially is like a way out could be through stocks, but again I don't know anyone who does that. But I know that you got to be rich to do that. So it's like initially I would need to have a lot of money to go into that. So me going into network marketing, it was another way for me to get more money, so I can initially go into stocks and be like Warren Buffett. That was the whole thing. Be rich like Warren Buffett, and how to find a way to go about doing so. So yeah, you're gonna cut me off.
So Warren Buffett was your inspiration
from a little kid, yeah. And it's mainly because he was a rich person, and it's like, bro, we want to be rich. Like, and if we're looking at being rich, we're looking for the best. Like, if you want to be a basketball at that time, you didn't want to be like, someone's coming off the bench. You want to be Michael Jordan. Like, you go towards the best. So it was that aspect. But again, it was like, it wasn't as if like I gotta be Warren Buffett all the time. It was like, no, like I need money first. So I was like, where can I look to get money at? And that's where you go to the other stuff as well. But yeah, so network marketing, I pretty much changing my mindset.
Can you define that for us? Like, what exactly is network marketing?
So network marketing pretty much is you sell a service, a product or service. Well, it's an idea of how a business has a product or service, and you sign people up and you help them do the same exact thing. So pretty much you sign someone up, you teach them how to do the same thing. You have a service, whatever it is, it could be travel or a product like Avon, something like that. And then from there, you have a downline. So you get paid initially from how many people you have in your organization or your downline, how many of them stay active. So depending on the structure is, but if they stay active, you get a quote unquote residual income. And that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that when you got interested into the stock market,
now no. I initially got interested in the stock market as a thought because of Warren Buffett.
Gotcha.
I didn't jump into that though, because I know you needed money. So what really got me into the actual trading, it was network marketing. So at that time, I went to another network marketing company because I thought that was better. It was cheaper, and then you make more money by having another organization. And then from there, one of my uplines, I was following his upline on Facebook. And the reason why, because I figured success leaves clues, right? So like if he, I'm sorry?
Upline? I don't mean to too much.
You're
there's some
great.
things I don't understand.
No, you're great. You're great, man. If I break it down more. So like, again, like your organization, someone's going to be above you, right? When you're doing that marketing. So like, if you have those below you, that's your organization. And those, and if like, think about this. If an organization and someone's below you, initially someone's above them, which is me. So I'm a part of someone else's organization. I'm above, and they're above me. So I figured like if he was my upline's upline, he would have a better idea of how to become more successful, mainly because he's above my upline. So then from there, I started following him. You know, as I said, I figured success leaves clues. So I was following him, figure out what can I do to make more money. And I saw he started posting different charts. And at that time, I've never heard of like USD/JPY. It's more about like, you know, like Apple or Amazon at that time though, but like, you know, Exxon, things like that, which makes sense because it's a stock market. So from there, again, he started posting more stuff. I asked, what is he doing? He said he's trading currencies. I said, what the hell is that? He said he's doing Forex. And that's how I got initially started into Forex, which is trading. And then from there, Forex. Okay. Forex is financial market. Well, foreign exchange.
Is it an acronym or is
it foreign exchange. The Forex is short for foreign exchange. So it is also the world's largest market in the world. It's the world market, pretty much. That's really what it is. So it's not like the stock market. The stock market, you know, you have the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Sorry about that. So you have those things, right? That right there is like piece of the stock market when people think about that.
And that's like domestic, right? Like it's like if I remember correctly,
exactly. That's exactly right.
Right.
And then, because again, every country has its own stock market. Like Germany has
that.
Yeah, they do. Well, like Europe, they have their own. Let me not say Germany, but Europe have their own. Australia have their own. Asia has their own as well. So it's like ours is obviously the stock market, the stock exchange, as well as the NASDAQ. So from that aspect of it, though, again, like I started doing Forex. I fucked up a lot of times. You know, a lot of trial and error. Initially found what worked for me, stay consistent with that, and then that's more of like a long term. Speeding up to where I'm currently at right now. But the whole
so when you said you started doing Forex, like what does that mean? Like how did you start? What is starting Forex even mean?
Great question. So what I was doing was I opened up a broker, right? Because initially I had to make a payment to get into like a group, and looking back, you don't really have to do that, right? So I made a payment to get into a group. I got educated from that, and then from there I just started applying the things that was learned to us. So a lot of time, like and again. Like trading, like you're trading stocks, right? That would be, instead of trading stocks, I'm trading the Forex market. So that's really what it boils down to. So if you always don't know, trading about really is just this, right? So you have an asset, and if it's going up or down in value, you're trading it. If it's going up, you want to go for a buy. If it's going down, you want to go for a sell. And depending on where it drops to or where it rises to, that's how you make your money. So a quick scenario is this. So let's say if I'm trading stock market, right, or I'm doing options. And let's say I get into Tesla, right? Let's say I get into Tesla at $3.03, and it goes up to $3.03 $3.05. That 2 cents difference, you can make a lot of money on just that right there. And it depends on either how much shares you got into it, or you know, from trading standpoint, you know, when it comes to Forex, how much lot size you have. So that's really what it differs. So from an investor standpoint, you're making money obviously as an investment, but because if it goes up in value, you're going to make money. But from a trading standpoint, you're making money from literally the pennies that it goes up from. So obviously, if it goes up $1, you make a lot more than that because you know it's more. But from the penny exchange, that's how you make your money. Same thing with Forex trading, right? So like an example is this: if I was to fly to Europe right now, I have to exchange our currency for their currency, which is euro. So let's just say right now, the exchange rate, this is off the top of my head, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Let's say exchange rate is going to cost me $1.10 to give me €1, right? Right now it's Saturday. Let's say on Monday, I go and I exchange the money back. And now instead of it costing $1.10, it's going to cost me $1.07, right? That 3 cents difference, it's not much, like especially like it's only this isn't 3 cents. As a trader, that 3 cents difference, you can make a lot of money. So that's initially what it is. We're literally trading the assumption that one currency will outvalue the other, or the price will go up or go down. That's really what it boils down to.
And when you trade, do you use your own money or do you use investors' money? How does
I use my own money. So great question as well. So you have retail traders and you have institutional traders. So retail traders like myself, there's those who put their own money into the markets and they trade it that way. Institutional traders are those who work for like hedge funds and banks. They use their money and they're traded that way. So initially, like, again, if I work with a bank or a hedge fund, I'm trading for them, you're starting off with like, at least three, well, no, it depends on that. So at least 5 million starting off with, right? So obviously the more money you have into the market, the more money you can make as a return. As a retail trader, you have your own money, right? And now, things change with prop firms and stuff. But again, like if you have, $1,000 in the market, yes, you can make a lot of money, depending on how your entry everything is, but you're not making the much money you have like at like $1 million or so in your account. So to piggyback on that thought as well, and back to what I was saying with it, that's all trading is. So that's one thing as well. So I want you guys to think about a casino, right? And I don't like to compare casino to trading, but this
it's a little, because the house always wins with a casino.
Right,
so it's
but
like
not
gambling.
No, and that's not why I'm saying it. Because again, trading is not gambling. Trading is you're losing past price to the assumption that the future price will be an example of that or an idea of that, where to get out at. So the reason I'm seeing in casinos is because if you go in a casino, you can't just say, "Here's my money, I'm in it." It doesn't work that way, right? You have to go, to the house or whatever. You have to exchange your dollars for their chips. Once you have their chips, then you can actually, enter the casino or place your bets. So with trading, you can't just put your money and say, "Hey, here's my money, I'm going to be a trader." It doesn't work that way. So you have to go into a brokerage account. You have to open a broker. You have to put your money into their broker account. Let's say you put $1,000 into it. Right now you have $1,000 in chips in a way from a casino aspect, but $1,000 from a broker. So now you put that $1,000 and now you can go about trading the markets. So, and again, as a casino with the $1,000 chips, if you make more money, great. Once you go back and you close out, it's your money. If you put $1,000, you lose the money, you lost your money. So same thing with a broker. If I have if I put $1,000 into a brokerage account and and I'm trading it, if I make money, great. Once I withdraw that money, then it becomes my money. Same thing with casino. Once you go back to the house, you exchange it. Now it's your money. The gain is your gain, and that's what I feel like a lot of traders they get messed up with because they're like the actual capital gains. It's not your money until you make it withdraw and it hits your bank account. Until then, it's just floating money. It's just floating. Like you can't really say I made $10,000 today. Technically, you did on paper, but did you really gross $10,000 in your bank account? You did not. Until you make it withdraw and hit your money, then you gross that money.
Right.
So, all right. So let's go into. All right. So now we got into investing in the stock market and trading. So now, what when you said brokerage account?
Yeah.
What brokerage accounts can we like? What do you recommend? Webull, Robinhood, or like what do you recommend?
That's a great one. Yeah, that's a good question.
Robinhood at all. All right. I don't recommend Robinhood. Like 100%, I don't. Mainly because. So here's the thing. So Robinhood it's really easy and to go for it, and I understand that, right? Like it's really from an investor standpoint, it's like even to the average eye, it's simple. It's simple as fuck. I don't recommend that. I recommend I recommend Webull if you want to go that route, or Thinkorswim. Like E-Trade, Direct Debit Fidelity. Those things are way better. And another reason why I don't with Robinhood is because Robinhood has a lot of shady shit going on. And when it comes down to your money, you want to be able to reach out to someone like ASAP. Because again, I don't give a damn if I have $1 in Robinhood. It's my money, right? So like if my dollar is not fully protected, or it may be something which I can't get it right now, that's an issue. So again, for those listening, I don't recommend that. If you want to take this serious, go with something that's serious. Don't just like go with Robinhood because it's easy accessible. So from that aspect, yeah. And when it comes to trading, same thing. So I recommend, for Forex trader, I recommend Eagle FX. That's a broker. So that's another thing as well. So a lot of people feel as if like you need to hire a coach, you need to join a network marketing company to trade, and that's not true at all, right? Same thing with investing. Did you need to join an organization to open up Robinhood? No, you have to download the app. So same thing with Eagle, anything else. You can just go and just download this shit yourself. You can put your you can go to right now, eaglefx.com. You can open a brokerage account, set it up, attach it to your bank account, right? You can deposit your bank account money from your bank account into Eagle, and voila, you can trade the markets. Another thing as well is like even with like trading wise. So like for those who really want to go the free route, you can go to babypips.com. Literally, babypips.com. That's a free website. What? babypips.com, BABYPIPS.com. You can go there. It's a free website. If you want to get educated, they have a free educational source, and voila, you can go about doing so. Now, the thing about that, and again, and why I do recommend education, Baby Pips, again, just like same thing with YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you can learn all these things, but you're not learning hands-on guidance, right? So a mentor or a coach, they're going to give you that hands-on guidance from what they've learned, right? So like, again, like they'll let you know like, hey, I've been down this road. I know that there's going to be a pothole, 100 feet away. Avoid this pothole. Or when you get to the end of the block, you want to make a left. Don't make a right, make a left. I've been down this road. I'm telling you, if you make a left, you'll be easy to get to destination and so forth. So again, like you can't learn that from watching a video on YouTube or like, from the APIS. But again, like a lot of people, they want to take the free route. And I get it, it's free, right? You do want to do things that, make sense to you. But if you really want to take things to another level, you got to invest in yourself, which is hiring a coach. Like, again, I've spent shitloads of money on coaches, but again, it was needed to get to where I'm at.
Can you talk to Rich? Rich.
I want to go back to when he was talking about like when it's a ton of money, right?
Okay.
Of coaches.
Right.
So you lose. Is it correct that you lose money, lots of money, trading versus just putting $5 into a stock?
Great question. So you only lose money, and this is both as an investor or as a trader. You only lose money when either you close the position or you don't have enough margin, right? You don't have enough capital in your account, and it's like it just goes against you. That's it. Besides that, you don't lose money until you just close it. So think about it like this, right? Like if I buy Tesla right now at $300, let's say it's $300 right now, right? I buy a Tesla at $300 and it goes down to $100. I don't necessarily lose money unless I just close that and then I just lost $200. But initially, that's the reason why people invest in the stock market, because at the end of the day, over time, it's going to be more valuable than it is now. That's why it's an investment. An investment means that you're dealing with a future asset discount at a current price. Why? Because again, as I just said, over time, initially, my idea is that Tesla will be more than $300. So if it becomes, let's say $301, I made money, right? So again, as an investor, you want to hold it over time. As a trader is different because again, you're trading from the aspect of like, again, the penny aspect of the increase or decrease, you're making money off of that. Initially, obviously, it becomes the dollar, you're making more money or losing more money and so forth. But as a trader, you're more of like a day-to-day base, or if you're a swing trader. So a swing trader, what that means is you're like aiming for the long run. You focus on a higher time frame movement of price, like the daily, the 1 hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and so forth, right? But as a trader, again, you lose money because no one likes to see any red, right? So like, but if I close a position, right? But that's also needed, right? Because you want to close a position because if it goes against you for so long, you don't want to marry a position, right? You marry a position as a trader and it goes against you. Now you're just pretty much about to blow your account, and you want to strive away from doing so. As an investor, kind of the same thing, but initially, like depending on what you're really investing into, I do recommend you guys just focus on index funds to be on the safe side. But initially, over time, they're going to hold value. So with that being said, is like just go that route, right? Go with index funds or go with things that you think make the most sense. So I tell people as well, it's like you have an Apple iPhone, invest in Apple. Think about like something small like that. If you like, what are you doing at home? You go to Target a lot, invest in Target, right? Things that you feel is going to hold value. Microsoft, invest in Microsoft, right? You don't have to don't just buy AMC because that's what's in the news. Like if you're going for value, go to things that make the most sense. They're going to hold value over time. And that's how I go about investing. And that's how I teach, like invest into like value. You want value investment rather than, the quote unquote get rich quick scheme. Because there's no such thing as get rich quick scheme. Like legit, there's no such thing. Even a lottery, like how likely is it that you're going to win a lottery tomorrow? Like that's very unlikely. That's why people strive for that. And that's how people get paid for like lottery get paid. Because people think that like, oh, like I can be that next lottery winner. And yeah, it's possible. I'm not going to say you can't be that person, but how likely is that? Let's be honest, right? Like that's if you want to be real.
To say that the lottery is the poor man's tax. You know what I mean?
It really is. Because, people literally put their paycheck into the lottery, and even that as well is like I remember I would see my like family members do that, and it's like you're spending so much money on the lottery. It's like you've never won. Like, and then again, I don't like try to strive away from their dreams because if that's someone's dream to win the lottery, who am I to say you can't be that? But like when you really learn about the lottery winners, statistically, like poor neighborhoods, you're not winning the lottery. Like that whole thing with Bow Wow, that whole movie, that's not happening. Like it's designed that way for a reason. Like certain areas that's really targeted for them to win. It's not happening within the urban community. So you're really wasting your time and money to doing so. It looks good. You may win a few dollars, but again, like if you're gonna do that and make a few dollars, you could put that same money into the market and over time make more than just a few dollars. Think about it that way. Like use the stock market as your lottery because you're guaranteed going to make money over time. The lottery, you're guaranteed gonna lose money. Maybe win, but you're guaranteed gonna lose money though. Like in reality. So like that's just how it is.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into this. All right, so now this is the part where you have to slow down. All right, let's say we get into a trade.
Okay, now we're trading.
Any brokerage account. It can even be Robinhood. Let's say we trade an option right now. Apple stock right now I'm looking is $147.81. Right. Okay. So now
187 point what?
$147.81 right now.
It's funny because like I don't even look at my Apple portfolio or portfolio in general because that's gonna fuck me up. Like you just down telling me that, goddamn. Because I know
or a bad number.
I mean, I know. I got in. My first Apple was in 2020. That's when I got it. It was around like 89. But besides that, though, I've been buying after that, and I have a lot of positions in after $170. Well, I'm sorry, $160. I got in a lot after that. So the fact that I'm down, obviously that's not appealing. But anywho, so 140 something you said, okay.
Yeah. So I'm just naming. I can even say Amazon.
No. It's good. It's good. It's not gonna like mentally mess me up.
So I start a trade option, right? So now, how can I know that? Okay, so Apple, it looks like it's going to go down. So I'm gonna do a put.
Okay.
Or I can do a call at maybe like $38 or cents or something like that because I see it's going up.
Right.
How like talk to us about that. So I'm getting to a trade option in Apple. That's the first thing. What's next?
All right, so that's not the first thing. The first thing is actually doing the work. So I don't recommend that anyone take a position without doing the work. So a lot of trades, they get messed up because they do the work after the trade. The work is done before the trade, right? So you have to mark up your charts, right? Where is your current level of support resistance for starters? That's the first thing you do. So, the first thing you want to do is market structure, right? So the market moves three ways. People can say other stuff, but this is what it boils down to. It's market structure, support resistance, candlestick analysis. Everything else.
What analysis?
Slow down.
Candlestick analysis.
That's what I'm saying. This is the part where you have to slow down now. Hold on.
Right, you're good.
You said
market structure. Market structure.
What is market structure?
I was gonna break everything down. So initially, the market is never gonna go all the way up or all the way down, right? It's gonna come up, gonna come down, up, down, and so forth. Or it's gonna go down, up, and so forth. That's market structure. That's the structure of the market. So you have two types of market structures. You have an uptrend and you have a downtrend, right? The uptrend consists of higher highs and higher lows, while the downtrend consists of lower lows and lower highs. So with that being said, there's a reason why people say that you don't want to buy high and you don't want to sell low. I mean, you don't want to sell low. The reason why you don't want to buy high and you really want to sell low. The reason why is because, again, if we have an uptrend, right? Again, the market is going to initially keep continuing going up over time. If you want to buy low, why? Because again, like initially it's going to come up and come back down. When it comes back down, it's going to make a higher low. And what that means is that your current low is 10, and it eventually goes up to like now 15 is your next low. That is a higher low. Why? Because that low is higher than the previous low, right? And then the opposite would be true for low, and lower highs, right? Low means that, this low is lower than the previous low, Lower highs mean that this lower high or is lower than previous high. So again, that's market structure, right? Because again, as I said, the market's not going to keep going all the way up or all the way down. The market loves to find stability, right? This is stability. It wants to be stable.
Stability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So by doing so, that's why we have market structure. Now, in this market structure, we have support resistance, right? And what support resistance is, think about as your ceiling and your floor, right? So initially, if you're in a building and you're on the first floor, below you is the basement, right? But on your feet right now, the floor is holding you up, right? So like initially, if I touch the ceiling, that would be second floor, right? Now, if let's just say I woke up the stairs, I'll use the stairs as an example. I woke up the stairs and now I'm on a second floor, right? So initially I'm on a second floor. The second floor, which was once my resistance or my ceiling, is now holding me up. That's my support. So would it be above me? It'd be a third floor. The third floor would be my resistance or my ceiling. And again, like if I jump down and I go back to the floor below me, I'm now back on the first floor, which would be my new support. So again, you have support resistance. Again, as I said, because when the market comes down, it comes down somewhere, right? So it's going to come to a level of support or resistance. It's going to go back and forth. Then from there, you have candlestick analysis. What candlestick analysis is being able to read the candlestick patterns. The reason why this is so important is because traders, they forget that we're using candlestick charts. If we're using candlestick charts, it makes sense for you to go about reading how candlesticks move and how they go about the patterns of it. So as a technical analysis trader, right? So we understand that past price will help us with an idea of where future price is headed. That's the reason why you have candlestick analysis, because at the end of the day, the market is just made up of patterns that just like happens over and over and over again. The only thing that changes is pretty much the year and what's really going on, what's moving the markets. And then you have fundamental, right? So you have fundamental analysis trading, which is like they just focus on news. I recommend you utilize both fundamentals and technicals. The reason why is because news, which is fundamentals, that tells you when to get into the market. Technical analysis shows you where the market is headed, right? So again, like as an investor, if I know that Apple's earnings is coming out on Monday, right? I know that, right? It's Monday at 10:30, right? I want to prepare myself. So 10:30 is going to be crazy spikes. Why? Because that's their news event. However, technical analysis is going to let you know that if we're at a support, and which is the floor, if we're holding the whole time, right? And there's another thing as well. So you want to buy at support, sell at resistance until someone tells you otherwise. And the reason why is because, again, like if we're holding on a support, news comes out. What did I just say? If you're on a support, what are you going to do? Buy or sell?
You're going to buy.
You're going to buy. So if news comes out at 10:30 and this entire time we're just like we're sitting on support, we're bouncing on support, back and forth, back and forth. More likely when that news comes out, price is going to rise. And then the reverse is true for resistance. More likely is going to drop. So that's really the basics of it. Obviously, you know, it is a little more in-depth things you want to do. Like you want to have a trading plan. You want to have your opportunity levels, be more disciplined. But that's really the basics of trading. You buy support, sell resistance until someone tells you otherwise. You want to go along with market structure. Don't just go over what you think is going to happen. And that's one thing as well. Is like it's also accepting that I've been wrong plenty of times, right? I can think that the market is going to go up, but the market shows me that the shit is going to go down. So it's not about what I think; it's about what the market shows me. So back to what I was saying about doing the homework, like the work is done before the trade, right? And that's another thing as well. Is like just because the market is open doesn't mean that it's your opportunity to trade the markets. So what I do is, and I teach, you want to have your opportunities first, right? So let's say Tesla is 300, yeah. Let's say Tesla's at 300. Right. But my opportunity to get into the market is when Tesla goes down to, let's say, $295. So until then, I'm waiting until it goes to $295. Why? Because that's my opportunity. Yes, I can jump in right now, but for what? If me doing the work shows that $295 is my entry point, I'm going to wait till it gets to $295. I'm going to see how the market is moving around $295 because that's my opportunity. And if my opportunity shows that price will rise up, then I'll go for a buy, right? But if my opportunity shows that it's not, then I'm just going to wait for another opportunity if I don't think it's going to be a sell. So even as a Forex trader, so we over here that Forex is 24/7. That is true. excuse me, it is a 24/7 market. However, as a trader, you can't trade 24/7. It's 24/6, right? Like as a Forex trader, we can trade from 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And that is the reason why Forex has become more of a popular field, mainly because, again, like I don't have to wait until 9:30 when the market opens for me to trade Forex. All right. It can be 12 o'clock at night. I can trade. Why? Because, again, it's 12 o'clock here in America. It doesn't mean it's 12 o'clock in Europe, nor in 12 o'clock in Asia, or even Australia, or somewhere across the world. Like it's the world market. So because of that, I have the ability to trade, whenever I see an opportunity. But again, as I said, and I teach as well, it's like people like, oh, it's 5 p.m. I'm jumping in the market, or it's 9:30, I'm jumping in. It's kind of things are different, but in that sense, it's like, think about it like this, right? When you wake up, do you want to be bothered?
No.
When you wake up, you want to go use the bathroom. You want to go brush your teeth, eat, take a shower, right? Stretch, see how you feel. Check social media, get a vibe of things. Same thing with the market. Why would you jump into the market? You don't even know what's going on. Like, let the market do what it wants to do. You already have your opportunity set. So again, as I said, if the market goes up at 300, why am I jumping at 300? I could be wrong. My opportunity is either, let's say, 305 or 295. Just wait until the market gets to those areas, and then from there you can have an idea of what's going on. Because another thing as well is like the spread is going to be crazy high, and what that is pretty much how much your broker is going to make from you either being in profit or not being in profit. So they understand that, brokers understand that, especially retail traders, they want to jump in the market like this, right? Because for some weird reason, retail traders think that they're going to be better than the banks. No, you're not. Like, you don't have the capital like a bank has. It's just reality. It's big bank take little bank. So it's like, why would you do that? Like, just allow them to go fight it out and just get your crumbs. Like, if you think about it, especially as a Forex trader, it's a $7 trillion daily revenue market. 0.00001% of $7 trillion is some pretty much good money. So, like, why are you striving to do that? Just like get the pennies. Like, and it's not necessarily pennies though, but it's like everyone's fighting for a piece of the pie and ignoring the crumbs. So it's like what I teach is like you don't have to go for the pie. Like it's like the thing about day trading is that we have the ability to make as much money as we want in a day. We just have to like increase our lot size or shares we get in. But it doesn't mean that you have to strive every day to make that money, right? So it's like you don't have to make $10,000 every single day, right? Think about it though. The average person doesn't even make $250 per day, right? So let alone,
wait, what?
The average person doesn't make $250 a day.
Yeah, the average person don't make what?
$250 per working day. They don't. The average person, honestly, it's $53,000 is the average annual income, and majority of the country makes less than that. So if you want to put things, that's the reason why. Like again, that's why the average individual, they now need 2 jobs just to survive. Like this is the world we live in, and the reason why is because inflation has rose crazy. We're in a recession. They want to pretend we're not. But again, like all these things is the reason why things are like that. But as I was saying, like you don't have to strive to make that, right? And again, like man, if you're not even used to making $1,000 per day, why are you striving to make $1,000 per day? You're not used to it, right? So just go brick by brick, build step by step. First, start making $100 a day, then $200 a day, $300, $500, so forth. Because the only difference that separates someone making $1,000 and someone making $100 is either their lot size or how much they're into the stock. That's it. It's the same exact skill set. It's not as if like, oh, like I want to make $1,000 because I have this skill set. It's the same shit. It's just how much you're willing to risk. That's the only difference. So like I tell people like, stop striving to make $1,000 in a day. You don't even know what it takes to make $100 in a day. Make $100 and then from there just start building your way up. But again, as I said, like greed gets to everyone, right? So like we're trading on a field. There's no cap on how much we can make, right? Like again, and another thing too, like even me, I don't have big days every single day. It doesn't matter what. Like some days I take losses as well. That's part of the game. So you can't run away from that. Like trading is based on probability. At the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you're winning more than you're losing. If I'm making, let's say Monday I make $1,000, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I lose $100 each. At the end of the day, Monday I had a big day. I'm still up, right? Again, like let's say Monday I make $1,000. So now I think I'm big shot. Tuesday I lose 300. Wednesday I lose 300. Thursday I lose another 300, and Friday I lose that $100, right? So now I'm back at zero, right? And again, because people don't look at the probability, they look at like if I win now, I'm gonna always do this, and that's what traders mess up with because that's not how it works. Like again, but I get it because like your first big day, you calculate this shit like, hold up, if I do this every day, I'm about to be a millionaire by next year. Like it doesn't happen that way, right? And again, like, if you just work on a step-by-step building, you're gonna be great. But if you're focused on like I have to make $1,000 every day, you're not gonna be good. You're gonna quit, and that's the main reason why majority of traders quit.
That's a big bar. That is a big bar. Big bar. Wow.
I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast, but we're big on bars.
Yeah,
all right. So you know we're big on bars, but every drop that's impactful, it's gonna be saved as a bar.
I know.
All right. So if you don't mind me asking,
I gotta get like the most bars honestly from this podcast. So I don't know. We're only at that was the first one. I gotta spit some shit. So let me stretch out a little bit. So took too long to get that.
What is the highest you ever profited? What was the highest?
Right, so till this day, the day of recording this, I've only profited 27K in one day, and that was the only election when Biden got elected.
Pause.
Don't tell Naira on that. Do not tell Naira on that. Do not tell. If you tell Naira on that, he's gonna be like, "Huh? Wait." You're
not gonna just say that casually and just gloss it over. It's like, oh yeah, no, I just made 27,000.
No. It wasn't. No. It's not casual because I vividly remember too. Like it was the election, right? So the Dow. So I was trading the Dow Jones. I vividly remember that waking up, the Dow Jones had a crazy gap, and I was up crazy. And it's funny because I made that much. I got out. Right. And again, it was mainly because this is my biggest day. But looking back, if I stayed in, I would have damn near made like maybe 80K or maybe more. But again, like these numbers is not like I have friends who've done this in a day. They done 100K days. So like this is possible, especially with trading. But as of right now, though, that is the most I've made. I have students who've made more than that in a day.
How does it make you feel as a teacher? Like the fact that
it's amazing. It's like literally, I have a student who made 55K in one day. Like in that right there, till this day, no student has made more than that in a day. But it's obviously it's great. You know, it's life changing. Obviously, you know, to make that much in a day. But you know, besides that, the ability to teach someone how to do that, that's really what it's about anyway, right? Because again, we don't know these things. So the fact, like my job is to make sure that I can go and I can teach other individuals how to do what I'm doing. If you make more than me, that's even better, right? Because, you know, the student wants to surpass the teacher. But if you just make even like an extra $300 in a day or even like $100 a day, right? And that's why, I celebrate $100 wins the same way as me celebrating that 50K win. The reason why is because any dollar you make out of your 9 to 5 is a dollar closer to you leaving your 9 to 5. That's how I look at it. So like, again, like you don't have to make $1,000 a day. You made $100, great. Like that's life changing. Think about that. Like $100 in a day, that's $500 in a week. That's an extra 2K in a month. An extra 2K a month can change anyone's life, especially with current time. So it's like the fact that you can make that, you know, you have the ability to do so, that's amazing.
So, Rich, you mind if I
Okay, Naira, because as soon as he said, "Oh, I made 27K a day," okay, so now Naira is about to ask you another million questions.
Go for it.
You know, I'm not gonna get distracted by the money too much. I kind of want to take it back a little bit. Don't get upset. Don't get upset at me, but I want to take it back to when you first started trading, right? Yeah. So you first start trading because I'm assuming that most of your students will be in the position you were back then, right? Like they come to you, they come to this mentorship program. They're just starting to trade. So were you still working while you were trading? And
100%.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So while you were working, I know the basic premise is you invest your money on a bet of a stock.
Well, it's
going
not. So
up.
let's not say it's a bet,
trade,
right?
not
So,
a bet, trade.
And the reason why I'm saying it's not a bet, because again, like is your interpretation of the markets, right? So like some people feel as if like, the market is rigged, which it kind of is, but they feel as if like, the market stopped me out and then it went my way. No,
Right.
The market doesn't give a damn about who you are. Like, you're not that important for the market, to be honest with you. You're just not. So it's like the market didn't stop you out. Your interpretation of the market was just incorrect, right? Because you lost a trade, but somebody else won a trade. So how can the market just stop you out? Like, but a lot of people think that. They'd be like, man, this shit was just against me, hit my stop loss, then went up. And no, it's not the case, man. Like, you were just wrong. Like, just accept it. Right?
All right.
Accept the wrongness. But back to what I was saying in reference to your question. No, like I had a job. Like, I didn't just like, oh, hey, I'm full time now. No, it actually took me way longer than it should have for me to become full time.
Can you give us like a rough estimate? So you were working. So you get the Tony Robbins book. You learn about a whole bunch of different things. You start Forex trading. You're still
There's some gaps between these things though too. It's not like
I'm trying to put
the whole Tony Robbins book. That was a gap. Like, I didn't go from. I spent $1,500 that month, Tony Robbins book. No, I read other things that initially got me into Tony Robbins book. I actually remember when I purchased that book. It was a lot
life
at the time,
changing.
but man. I think till this day it's an ancient Bible. Like, if you are into anything finance, you want to read that book. It's very long, very tedious. Like, I remember when my wife, was my girlfriend at that time, I got her to read it. She got to like page 30 and was like, this is boring. And it is boring. Like, it doesn't really get interesting until like maybe chapter 3. And then from there it's like, oh wow. But from there it's just reading. But at that time I was just like, I just enjoyed it. So, that's
all right.
That's reason why for me.
So you get to the point where you're Forex trading and working at the same time, correct?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I was super trash.
Ain't we all super trash in the beginning?
Of course. And that's the thing as well. So like, I tell everybody, man, like, you're like, don't be afraid to just start. Like, the people you look up to, we were all beginners. Like, but like, and they think like, oh, I want to wait till I'm better. When are you ever going to be better if you don't actually take the initiative to start? Like, and they say, I'm going to wait for time to go by. I'll wait for 5 years to go by. In 5 years, you're going to be 5 years older anyway. So you're either going to start now and you get better within those 5 years, or 5 years later you start and then again you just wasted 5 years because you could have did it before. And that's why people live in regret. I wish I would have done this before. It's like, don't wish, just do it. Like, what's really the worst that could happen? You learn something and you just learned something. That's the worst that could happen. You learn something. Is that really bad to learn something? No, it's not. No, it's not bad. It's like, what's the problem?
So you're working and you're doing Forex at the same time, right?
Yeah, I was, and that's the thing too. So a lot of my mistakes at that time, I didn't know better, right? So again, like at that time, my mentorship that I received, it wasn't great, but again, it was mentorship that I had at that time. I was doing a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of things that traders shouldn't be doing, like FOMO trading, which is fear of missing out, jumping in trades when I shouldn't be jumping in, getting out when I shouldn't be getting out, jumping in because I see it going up or I see a friend say to get in, things like that. It's like, that's not good. But again, I was doing those things and yeah. So
while you're working, you're learning these things, right? You're learning when not to leave. You're learning when to invest. You're learning FOMO. When does that shift happen where you're making money from your 9 to 5, you're doing Forex, but all of a sudden the skills you've acquired are substantial enough where you can sort of, yeah.
All right. So, I don't like listening to people. Like, when I say, like, I don't like people telling me what to do. That's what I mean by that. And not from a coaching standpoint, but more of like a boss standpoint. Like, because a coach, you're coaching me to get better. And sometimes bosses do that, but sometimes bosses like, man, do this shit because this is your job. So I don't like people telling me what to do. So because of that, like, again, that boils down to me not going to college. My mom said, what are you going to do? I got to trade. I was an exterminator, got into network marketing and so forth. So I quit my job, and I quit my job way sooner than I should have. I thought I was doing good at trading, but again, it was a lot of luck. Like I think at that time I grew an account to around like I had like 20-something thousand in that account. So I'm like, I'm great to leave my job, and I blew it. I legit remember blowing that whole money, and I started doing. No, I remember it though.
All right. I got so many questions. All right. So what were you doing at the time? Right? Were you doing extermination at the time?
Oh no, I actually never did an exterminator job.
Okay. All right. So
I just had the certificate. So again,
okay.
like from there, I just started saving money. I started saving money. I would just legit just saving money, do things, get paid for money aspect of it. Like I would do like my neighbor's yard work, get paid from that. Like, obviously, shoveling snow, shit like that. And then again, like I would initially like not spend my money. So like my mom and my family would call me like a black Jew. Like they would be like, he don't spend shit. Like, and I won't. I'm like,
people call me cheap, and I always correct them. I go, I'm frugal. I'm not cheap.
And exactly. So
right.
like,
you gotta have a different mindset.
Right. Like if I would find some way, like, can you pay for it? Like things like that, and not a sense of like I'm not paying for nothing because I'm gonna pay for some things, but again, I was very frugal as well. Like a lot of things that even when I started making what I thought at the time was some good money. I was blowing money, but I realized like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. So initially, again, like I just read these books on these things. Let me not continue doing that because, right, I'm not. Again, like one thing about it as well. So we overhear that you have to with knowledge, like they say, like like knowledge is power. I don't think that's true at all. I think applied knowledge is power. The reason why is because if you're not applying what's being learned, what's the purpose of you having the knowledge? Like if I can read 1,000 books, but if I'm not applying anything I'm learning from these books, what's the purpose of me reading these books? Right. So that's what I feel. Yeah.
And to continue and to continue for what you said, I've learned that, and shout out to our previous guest, our continuous guest. Her name is Sade Burrell also, and she said to me that we can have the knowledge all we want, but if you're not executing and applying to it, then pretty much all you're just doing is wasting your time.
Right, 1,000%. And most people, they feel that way, right? Like even now, you buy course after course after course, but you're not applying the information. Like, absolutely. What is the purpose of you buying all these courses, right? Or not even just that too. It's like you're watching all these, or listening to all these podcasts, interviews and stuff, and like you're learning from these people. What is the point if you're not applying the shit? It's really pointless. Like you'll become smarter. I get that, but it's like you're just a smart broke idiot. Really? Like, if you're not, honestly though, if you're not applying it, what is the purpose of doing it? I don't think it's a point. So
you too much information is bad. So it's bad for you then.
So that's another thing as well. So I don't think too much information is bad. I think that you can overwhelm yourself and overwhelm your brain, right? Like that you do want to take some breaks out. So like even myself, like, I aim to spend at least 3 hours a day, either digesting either the markets or just learning about my craft, working on it, podcast, audio, and so forth. But it's to a point where it's like, I got to allow my brain to digest what information we just learned. Because if not, like if I'm just learning more in overload, it's like so much going in. It's like, what am I really sticking to? I'm not sticking to anything.
Good night,
so, thank you, because I'm so curious about this pivotal moment, this pivotal shift. So, so in order for you to make money doing trading, right, you gotta sell. In order for you to retain income, you gotta sell the things that you're buying at a higher value than when you bought it, right? So if you bought something at $5, it's not worth $10. You sell it for $10, you're making $5 back.
As a trader or as an investor?
Ooh, that's different. All right. Yeah. See, I'm going along the lines of trader this whole time.
So, so again, like trading, and this is what I was saying before. As an investor, yeah, like if something is $5 and it comes $10, you obviously just made $5, right? If you take the money out. As a trader, if something is $5 and it goes to $5.01 or $5.02, you're making money on the pennies of the increase.
Okay. Right. You were talking about crumbs earlier. That's what you were talking about, right? The crumbs.
No. That's different though. When I say crumbs, because again, like as a Forex trader, it's a liquid market. It's $7 trillion daily revenue. So again, you don't have to aim to catch the entire move. You can make $1,000 in a day and be great. You don't got to make 10,000 or 30,000 a day. You don't have to do that. We have the ability to do so, but you don't have to do that. That's when I say crumbs. Like
Okay.
everyone's fighting for, you know, the pie, but they're ignoring the crumbs. And that's what I'm saying. Like you could build the brick by brick is how you really go about compounding everything correctly. But if you aiming for $1,000 and you only want $1,000, let's just say you make $1,000 today. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow you're up $700, but you don't close it. You leave it, right? Because again, it fluctuates. So you leave it in there, and now you're like saying yourself, I have to hit 1,000. Now that 700, it goes down. Now you're only up 300. You're like, I'm leaving it. Now you're only up 100. I'm leaving it. Now you're down. And you're like, oh my gosh, I should have got out when it was up 700. That's your emotional trader, right? And then we can probably go more of that when we dissect that as well. But to answer your question in full, as an investor, you're making money from that aspect, $5, $10, so forth. As a trader, you're making more of your money from like the increase of price from like a penny standpoint of it. Like as I said, if you know the current exchange rate for the euro is in a dollar is $1.05, and tomorrow is $1.06, you're making a lot of money from that penny exchange.
Depending on how much you buy, right?
Right, depending on your lot size and how much you get into it and so forth. If you were to go to a buy, if you went for a sell, you'll be asked out.
So I keep going back to this because I want to get to the point of when you made that shift. So you're making money.
That shift came years later. So initially I started trading in 2014. And I remember it was October 28th, 2014. That's legit the day that I purchased. I got into that group. That was that day, October 28th, 2014. Now I remember it because my ex-girlfriend at that time was at her house. And I bought it, and I thought that again. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at people make $40,000 in a day, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be up there like in no time. I'm about to go in.
But I see that all the time on Instagram, and I'm always so incredulous because I'm like, come on, man, that doesn't exist.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, like, especially man, social media is one hell of a job. Don't believe everything you see on social media.
I never do.
And, there's a lot of people who fake this shit, and this is the reason why you can't fake time freedom, right? So like what I don't post numbers. I don't post like, hey, I just made 10K today. I don't post that stuff. I may post my students, right? Like, hey, my students made 3K, 5K, 10K, 13K. I may do that, but I don't post me doing that. What I post is time freedom. You can't fake time freedom, right? I know people personally who like they rent a car. Right. And they change their outfits, right? They rent a Bentley, change their outfits like 4 times, take pictures with each one. Now you think that this person has a Bentley with different outfits, right? Or they'll go to they'll rent out the Ritz-Carlton, right? With some friends, 1 bedroom, different clothes. Like you take pictures of the balcony and stuff. It's like, fam, like who cares? Right. But again, like within these past, what is it? From 2019 till now, me and my wife, we've literally traveled to 14 different countries together, right? And each country we've been to, we stayed there a week each. You can't fake that, right? So again, also like I tell everybody as well, look at someone's day-to-day basis, right? Don't care about what they post. Look at their day-to-day life. You know who has money from their day-to-day base. If someone has money, certain things they're just not going to do because you have the ability, you have the capital to do so, and like certain things you are going to do. So like from that aspect as well, it's like just look at it that way, like. If this person is making so much money, right? Same thing, right? If someone's making all this money, why do they keep flipping small accounts? Just think about that. Like, why do you know how much time consuming it is to flip a small account to a big account? Why am I doing that? Why do I need to flip $400 into like $3,000? Why do I need to do that? It does not make any sense. Like little stuff like that. You can just tell who is real and who's not. It's like, it's so damn irritating because like, people also make it seem as if trading is easy. It is not. It's simple, but it's not easy. Like trading has become the most eye-opening realization to who I am as a person. It will make you realize like, who are you? Like, are you someone who's going to be patient? Because at the end of the day, money is made to be a patient, right? So you got to develop that. Like you got to develop. You're gonna lose some days. Can you accept that? Can you stomach losing some days? If you can't stomach that, then it's not for you. It's not for you, but it's like, it's not. And it's like, even making more money, right? So like, can you, like, if you're aiming to make, 10K, 20K days, you have to be able to stomach that you're going to have some days in which you're down 3K, you're down 5K, you're down 7K. can you stomach that? If you can't stomach being down 5K in a day, you're not ready for those days. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like people think that like, oh, like I'm going to flip this. Like it's not going to happen that way. Like you got to be able to stomach these days. If you can only stomach being down like $300 or $200, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you can stomach to be down. And you have to realize that over time, obviously, if you want to make more money, you just got to increase your risk. But increasing your risk means that you're going to either make more money or lose more money. That's it. You're increasing your risk.
So, and I promise this is the last time I'm going to like go back to it. So you
have
like
20... I haven't gone back to that story. I haven't gone back to that.
I don't want to detract from like the future and what you were currently doing.
So let's do this and let's stick with the step by step, right? So
all right.
I blew all my money. A lot of emotion at that time. Shit just fucked up and had a bad day one day and bad day into a bad week into a bad month.
You had already quit your job or not yet?
I did quit my job. So I was doing trading, quote unquote, full time, but that was not full time because that.
And your income is basically from trading. So like whatever it is you trade
at that time. But again, here's the thing though. So that literally stopped like maybe probably a month, and I was like done, like legit done. So I was
20K is gone.
I blew my money, like I blew it. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So initially, I had a friend who was like telling me about Uber. So I got into Uber. I started doing Uber, and I was embarrassed about it. But looking back, I mean, that shit was life changing, right? Because it gave me the ability to go. Someone said, "Stop the cab, you're wilding." This is not cab.
No. This was at 5:21. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know what that was. But
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Legit have receipts and records of all this shit. So.
And then, what would you guys do if you really made that much? She's talking about when you made the 27K. And then when people was like, I made like 80K, I made like 50K a day. But
I legit have friends
about.
That's not cap. I have friends who make this money. Like legit, I have a friend who made 100K in one day. I have that.
All right. So, but stay with me. We'll get there.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to this. So again, I started doing
Uber. So you're doing Uber. You lost 20K. You're doing Uber.
I'm doing Uber. So again, like. And what made me continue doing, I'm doing Uber to keep money flowing, like paying bills. And also because, again, I didn't want to stop trading. So I'm also using that money to fund my account. Now, the thing with Uber is like, what didn't stop me from trading is because, again, I'm seeing people make all this money. So I'm saying to myself, like, yo, at that time, like, yo, he or she, I'm smarter than them. If they can make this money, some shit, like it's something got to give. I can make that money as well. Like, what the fuck is going on? So again, like that's the reason why I never quit. And looking back, I mean, it was a great decision why I didn't quit. But again, one time, so I initially was going to legit quit one day. I remember this too. So I was driving from, at this time, my girlfriend, again, my wife, was she was my girl at that time. I was some nights I would stay at her crib, and she lived at in Manhattan at that time. So I was driving to her house. It was late though. So I'm driving, I'm on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm done. He's like, you're not done. I'm like, bro, I'm tired of losing money. Like, I've lost so much shit. At
that point, I would have quit. The moment 20K was gone, you would have had to put me in an asylum.
No, but again, from that as well, it's like I knew, like, bro, listen, when you see people make, $1,000 in a day, right? You know that you can do it as well. Like, what separates you from them? That was my whole thing. Like, what the fuck is like, I can do this shit. Like, something has to happen. So, and that's what allowed me to get more into mentorship. Again, Uber helped me out. Like, that helped me, be able to pay for mentorship, be able to pay for coaching, all these different courses. That allowed me to do so because I had that income coming in. So again, like, I remember this vividly. One day I was driving to her crib, and I parked up. I didn't actually go inside. I just parked up, and I was in the car because sometimes I was sleeping in the car. Because as an Uber driver, like, again, it was easier for me to like just wake up in the car and then like,
I get it, man.
Yeah, airport runs. Yeah, man, airport drives, and then you're making so much money, and from there, and you're starting to get good. So I was pulled up. I parked my car. I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm done. Like, I wasn't like boohoo crying, but like tears of anger. I'm fucking tired of shit. Like, you're not done, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I'm fucking done. Like, I can't, like, this, it's just not working. Like shit is just not working. I don't know what it is, but shit just not working. Like I'll do Uber until he's like, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. I'll do Uber until, I don't know, some shit pops up, but like, it's just not working, bro. So then like, from there I have my iPad. So what I would do is I would have my iPad. I would trade off my iPad or my phone. And that's how I'll be like, I continue trading. So from there, I had a place to trade. And I remember it was UJ at that time I was trading, which is USD JPY. So I placed the trade. And in the morning I woke up and I was up like damn near $1,500. And again, I was doing Uber at that time. So I woke up and I was like, oh shit, like that's when everything changed. Because like literally looking at money.
Yeah, so you had lost 20K, you lost 20K, but you got 15.
No. This is not me making 1,500 the next day or anything like that. This
I know.
Huge, like a year later. Like I lost all the money. And from that time, again, me doing Uber for that year, I'm using this to also build myself back up. So like, I'm building myself back up. I'm doing all these things. And that's how it helped out. So that whole story, when it comes to me saying like I want to quit and keep going, that was it. And another thing too. So I remember that very same year, in the beginning of that year, and this will also help me out when it comes to my finances and then trading as well. So the beginning of that year, I was doing Uber, and of that time, this was before I said I quit. So at the beginning of that year, I was driving home one day. I remember this. So I was in Jackie Robinson driving home, and a friend asked me to borrow some money. I'm like, yeah, bro, I got you. He said he wants some money until Friday. So I looked at my bank account and I had $19.23 in it in my bank account. I'm sorry, 27 cents in my bank account. And from there, I was so embarrassed because like people look at me as like, oh, H got money, like, you know, H is the money guy to go to. So it's like for me to really like have that little money, I was just very embarrassed. So I just told him, bro, I don't got it right now. He's like, yo, bro, like I know you got it, blah, blah. Like I was like, bro, I don't got it right now. Like I just can't do it. So I was ashamed. So I literally went home and I just went over everything, all money and stuff. Like looking back where I went wrong and everything. I asked my grandmother for $2,000. That helped me, you know, pay some things down. That helped me out. That was my startup. So again, Uber did help me out, but Uber was me for paying my bill and stuff. I was still like, in a way, damn near living check to check, if you want to put it that way. Because again, a lot of my money was going to the markets, lose money. Going to the markets, lose money. Like I just kept doing that, right? So it was like I would make this money, put it in the markets, blow my money. Make this money, put it in the markets, blow my money. And it's like I was just tired of blowing money. So initially, yeah, fast forward. Again, I was talking to a friend. I woke up, I was up that much, and then I was still driving, right? I didn't like I'm quit driving. I was still driving, and then from there, it's like, yeah, I could do this shit. So I just started taking it really serious from there, like literally serious. And then fast forward.
But I'm assuming when you were doing Uber, you were taking it seriously, right? So like
I thought. So here's the thing, though. Like what really changed was again applying the information. So I'm saying to myself, like, what the fuck happened? Like for me to make this money and I wasn't making it before, what changed? And again, it's more about just being patient. Because again, I placed a trade. I woke up in my car, but I woke up. So again, it was not as if like I'm getting out too soon, right? Or anything like that. It really just lucked up in my favor. It's the fact that I made that money in my sleep helped me out and helped me realize that I just got to be more patient. But if I was up the entire time, man, if I had made like probably like $200, I probably would have closed the trade. And I made $200. So nothing of that would have changed. And everything would have been back and forth of the make money, lose it, make money, lose it, and so forth.
Okay. So now let's go. Okay. So let's go. Let's help our audience out now. So what trade? Talk about one trade.
One trade
that you did that made you money. So let's say, of course, well, you talked about the story about, all right, first you got up, you wake up, you do your, your morning routine.
Right.
Now you're doing your research on,
the
CNBC, all of that. So
I don't really do CNBC, but yeah, if you're doing options stuff, I recommend that. As a Forex trader, you don't need CNBC. As a Forex trader, all you need is Forex Factory. So you go to forexfactory.com, and then from there, it lets you know what the news is for the entire day. So again, as I said to you, like majority of the time, the markets consolidate until news breaks out. When news breaks out, that's where you want to obviously be in money because that's when it's more volatile. So you want to have more volatility than anything else. That's the reason why like 2020 has been crazy because since 2020 now, the market's been extremely volatile. Right, that's the reason why now you can make way more money in a day than you could before that because again, of volatility. So to answer your question, like when it comes to one trade, well, in 2020, I vividly remember too, like it was a Sunday, the market had opened up. It was around like I want to say like maybe around like 7 o'clock. I made 11 grand trading gold. You said what?
On a Sunday?
Yeah. I remember because again, like at that time, again, I'm becoming real better now. Like now I'm full time. But again, I'm not where I am now, but I'm becoming better. So I remember this too because my wife was on the couch at the time because we had a 1-bedroom apartment. So pretty much my office was like attached with the living room. So like she was on the couch. I'm here trading, and I'm just like, God, I'm up 11K. Right, so I'm like, I'm close trading. I'm saying to my wife, I'm like,
slow down, bro. Slow down. Up 11. You said you up 11K.
At that time,
how did you do that?
So that was trading gold. That was trading gold.
So casually.
No, it's not casual. So that was me trading gold. So I was trading gold, and it was a huge spike up. And again, I had great positions, and the market spiked up. I just closed out. Now again, my wife, she didn't know at that time I was having a good day. So I'm over here like, damn, like. I'm like, oh, like, like, damn, like trying to play it off, like, I'm having a bad day. But the reason why is because I use that money to go get engaged. And that helped out. So, but besides that, though, it was like, I vividly remember she was just like, oh, damn. I'm like, damn. Like, but I'm ahead, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, she's over there doing that. And I'm great now, not great, but at that time, it was another good day, a great day I had. It's the start of the week as well. Like a 11K week, 11K days to start the week is always beneficial. But yeah, that's a big day. I can talk about that. Talk about the 27, which was during an election. I can talk about that. And then like just other like like 3K days, 5K, 7K days like that. But initially like those big days was those. And this year, a majority of this year, I wasn't trading like that. Mainly because like I'm dealing with my emotions. So what was that 2022, 2021? Yeah, that's it. And then 2021, we had some great days, 2020 as well. And then, we had a 30-day vacation, and that was like, people was like amazed about that. And that was also an accident. So my wife, she was just saying like, huh? Oh, sorry, I think you just cut me off. My wife, she was, so, all right. So the first time we went to Aruba was in 2019, right? That was our like we had another great trip. So we went to Aruba, and Aruba is owned by the Dutch, right? It's a Dutch territory. So before 2020 really happened, our plan was to, because we wasn't renewing our lease, we we're going to move in September. We're going to become nomads. And then from there in January, we're going to move to Georgia, buy a house, and we're going to be good. That was our initial plan. And the reason why, because again, like, we're like, fuck it. Like, we could just do it. We have the ability to do so. So in September of 2020, that was happening. Obviously, COVID changed everything. Went to Georgia, which we currently live now, and then saw things differently. So we didn't do the nomad thing. But in 2021, yeah, it was last year. In 2021, so what we were saying was like, all right, like, what are we going to do? Because we weren't going to do the nomad shit no more. We obviously have a lease. We're here in Georgia right now. So we're like when I first traveled, what are we going to do? So she was like, well, let's go to Aruba. I said, all right, let's go. Because again, initially we're going to move to, we're going to do nomad. And a lot of it was going to be over Netherlands. Because we went to Netherlands, and Netherlands is great. And we know that Netherlands is owned by the Dutch. I'm sorry, by Aruba is owned by the Dutch, which is the Netherlands. So now, again, we're saying like, we're going to have vacation. We're going to go to Aruba. And then she was joking like, oh yeah, we should go there for a month. And I was like, let's do it. So then we looked at each other. We did the numbers, and we could do it. It was like, all right, let's do it. So we went to Aruba for a month. And then like, everyone was like, oh my God, this guy, a 30-day vacation. And again, like that right there is a great accomplishment, obviously, because again, like that's again the benefit of time freedom, right? Like we can do a 30-day vacation without worrying about like, oh, how's that going to get paid, or how are we going to, be able to do this and so forth. Like we have the ability to do so. But again, like, travel-wise, like we just love travel. But as of now, like we kind of like simmer down a little bit. But our last vacation, Colombia. We did Colombia for her birthday, and then after that, we just went back and forth to New York since then. But I mean, obviously, I'm home right now, and so we had our.
So, I guess my follow-up question is: so you had the balance between the two jobs. You left early. You did Uber. You got that trade for $1,500, and then you was that like the switch that was like, okay, I can do.
That was a switch where it's like, I know I can do this. So then from there, like I literally breathed and sleep trading. Like I was looking at like, what the fuck was I not doing? So I would like backtrack with all my other trades that I was losing, right? And that's when I started to backtrack. So before I realized that I wasn't journaling my trades and I didn't really have a plan. I was like, oh, let me jump in, let me jump out. I think it's gonna go up, I think it's gonna go down. So I started actually journaling my trades. So from there, it's like, all right, win or lose, journal the trade, learn from it, right? What went wrong that you're not gonna repeat? What went right? Those things as well. Again, did you do the work before the trade? Did you let the candle close? Those things was needed because again, I have an idea of, okay, now I know why I won this trade or why I lost this trade. I know how to move forward. So I started journaling more. And that was helpful because again, it literally went from like a downtrend to like now everything started to go up. Like, yeah, I'm going to lose some trades, but now I'm winning more than I'm losing. Also a trading plan, right? So I also recommend that, it's so funny because like my least product sold is I have a trading plan ebook, show you how to create one and the whole template. That's my least product sold, but that's the most important product. The reason why is because like you need a plan. So most traders, they don't actually have a plan. They just go about like they just trade, they think they're good and so forth. That shit don't work that way. And I tell everybody as well, it's like think about sports, right? It's like you practice these plans in like the NBA. They have practice for a reason. What are they practicing? Plays. What are they doing in the game? Plays. How they score? Because they ran the play. So why would you not run the play? But again, like having a trading plan, you got to also practice that plan and understand that sometimes you're going to lose, trades. Sometimes you're going to lose games. Sometimes you're going to win trades. You're going to win games as well, right? You need that plan. And then again, from there, to like stay consistent with that. I have a plan now. Now I know how about moving forward with those things, with the plan and stuff. And then again, it just took time. So again, that's another thing as well. It's like a lot of the story, like I am skipping and speeding things up. So that's why I am going back and everything. But I don't want someone to think that like one day I lost 20K, next day I won 15. I'm great now. It doesn't work that way. Again, even with that whole process for me, like that 15 on a day, I'm still losing trades. I'm still winning more, but I'm still losing trades though, right? So then it's just more about like learning from that, and that's how that's really how to do brick by brick aspect. So it does suck because like seeing other peers and stuff, they make like all this money in a day and everything, but just understand like all right, like I have the ability to make that, but again, like at that time I wasn't risking that much, right? Again, that's risk tolerance. So I understand it's like if I'm not making that much money, it's because I'm not risking that much money. So I got to accept that. Like if I'm at that time I'm making like like $600 days and stuff, and if I'm making that, it's because of what I'm risking. And again, just a brick by brick, understand that like one day I may make this much, next day I might. It's okay. It's the brick by brick aspect of it, and that's what really happened though. But yeah, having a trading plan, journaling my trades, that's when everything just switched. Because again, like it becomes discipline, and that was hard as well. Like understanding that like discipline is the most biggest thing you need, right? You have to understand that it's like just because the market is open doesn't mean you have to take the trade. You got to be disciplined and follow your trading plan. Like your trading plan says, wait until prices at this point or at your opportunity for a buy, let's say support, you wait. Like you don't buy just because like you think the market's going to go up. Where's your opportunity at? Like, and again, like let's say you don't follow your trading plan, right? And you win a trade. That's a bad trade. Why? Because you're psychologically telling yourself that I don't need to follow my trading plan to make money. I can just do whatever to make money. So if you're doing that, and it works that one time and you do it again, now you become a gambler. Now you're not someone who's disciplined. You're someone who's just like, you're just jumping in, jumping out whenever, and that's just not good trading.
Okay, so going back to when you said about the 11K, right?
Now we're in 2020. That was in 2020.
Oh, we're in 2020 now. Okay. So what was that one stock trade that made you?
So that's the thing. I don't do stocks. So at that time, At that time, well, technically, gold is a commodity, but my broker is a Forex broker. So the reason why I think that till this day, I think Forex is the easiest market and the most simplest market to trade. Mainly because for starters, like the leverage is like what option stuff you have is like 1 to 25, 1 to 50 max. With Forex, depending on your broker though, you don't have to worry about that, right? You can have a leverage of like 1 to 100, 1 to 500, 1 to 1,000. You can have that with Forex, which allows you more buying power into the markets. So again, going back to that, trading Forex, I think is the most simplest to get into. you can do it on your own time. It's not as if like you have to trade 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. You don't have to worry about 9:30. I'm sorry. You don't have to worry about that, right? If you want, let's say if you're working, let's say if your job requires you to be hands-on from 9 to 5, it's difficult to trade, right? Forex works, right? You can go when you get home, you can catch an opportunity at night. You can catch an opportunity overnight. Like you can catch an opportunity when you feel it's beneficial for your time. So it helps you out from that aspect of it. What's the question? I'm sorry. I think I kind of kept going.
Nah, you good. It was about I was asking you what was the trade? Like, was it like Microsoft? Was it Amazon? Was it
no. So,
but then you said it was a Forex trade.
Right. Well, technically commodities was gold, but that gold trade that was in July, that helped me out. Before that though, I actually caught some nice moves on the Dow, which is the Dow Jones. That's how I got into the Dow Jones. So a mentor at that time, he was telling me like, why are you trading UJ? So UJ is United States dollar versus Japan yen. That's a Forex pair. Yep. So he was like, why are you trading UJ? And I'm like, I made some good money trading UJ. What do you mean? So he's like, yo, like trade. He's like, yo, like UJ is not good. It's a slow moving pair. Trade GJ, and then from there I started looking at GJ, and then like some traders I would look up to, at that time they would trade the Dow, so I started looking at the Dow Jones, and then from there I made some good money trading the Dow, and then I literally don't trade any Forex pairs no more. I only trade the Dow Jones. I might go into like Ethereum or gold, but that's legit. That's the only thing that's on my list now. And the reason why, because it's just volatility. Like the money you can make in the Dow Jones is fucking insane.
So I don't want to get too deep into your pockets because this is a public platform and all that.
Right.
But no, I really don't. Like I want you to be protected. But I guess my question would be, like, what's your steady income at this point? Now that you've learned everything and you've kind of gotten a steady grasp of what it means to be a trader, and at this point, sort of like a mentor, right? Like you also do mentorship programs, things of that nature. Like what is a steady income for you at this point?
I don't have an actual steady income that I'm going to share. That's the answer.
For the audience, the reason why we're laughing is because Clyde Slade said, "I'm always in somebody's pockets."
Well. Bills are paid,
a little bit, but like, I guess because you don't work in that 9 to 5 structure.
No, so what I actually do is wife got me into it though, like pay myself as if I had a 9 to 5, right? Like a bi-weekly paycheck, right? So the second Friday, I look to see what's going on, and then from there, I'm good. I make a withdrawal and good. Like sometimes withdrawal is the same, sometimes it's not. It's okay. And the reason why, because as a trader, you don't have the same income all the time. And traders forget that, right? Like you can make
that's like my main concern. Because
that's a good question.
So my follow-up questions are really about stability at your current pace.
Right.
And like long-term sustainability into retirement. Like if you're doing this full time, how are you going to set yourself up to make sure that you never have to worry about money in your 50s, 60s, 70s?
That boils down to your investment. So I always recommend traders, and I tell my students as well, it's not about how much money you make, it's how you manage your money. Because if you can make $1,000, I'll go back to $1,000. You can make $1,000, right? If you don't know how to manage that money, if you don't know how to make that money work for you, you're gonna always be broke. You're gonna always chase that extra $1,000. So that's when it boils down to your investment. It can be the crypto, it can be the stock market, and so forth. Your investments long-term will help you out and I guess retire. Obviously, you want to have an IRA account if you are working, 401k, those things as well. Again, free stuff you can do. IRA account, you can open one up. You can go to like ally.com, open up an IRA. You can do it with your credit union bank. So people think that, again, these are not things that you have to pay for. You can do these things for free. And for some reason, people just don't do it.
Make sure y'all write that down.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to do that.
And again, I don't want to get into your pockets or anything, but like, no, like I'm so serious. Like,
how is somebody's pockets again?
No, because I can't. Like, it's wrong for me to ask for specific figures because again, this is your personal stuff. But
right.
Do you have plans for your future? And
what do you mean?
Like retirement plans and things like that. So like So you know how people that retire get a pension, and the pension is based off of the amount of times they put into this company. The company saves a certain amount of money at the side, and once you retire, you get that certain flow.
Right.
You don't have that doing trading,
No.
right?
I invest all of my money.
Right. You invest all of your money. So with that logic, how are you planning for retirement? How are you planning to get that same level of pension?
I mean, I'm not worried about pension, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not. No. I'm not worried about pension for any of that stuff. I have an IRA account, which is helpful, but besides that, nah. I'm literally all the money goes to the
mortality. Why not? Like, why are you so focused?
I don't feel the reason for it. Like, I feel like, again, like all of my money gets invested. Besides just paying off bills and like cards and stuff, all of my money gets invested. Literally, I may have like a few dollars in the bank, but that's like literally a few dollars. I invest everything.
Right. And
so back to what you were saying. So again,
like
my investments will hold me for the long run. So let's just say hypothetically, I can no longer trade ever. Right. Let's say I get to like 50 years old, I can no longer trade. My investments will 1000% take care of me until I'm done.
Is that confidence, or is that based on market analysis? Or
that's
is that
both. That's both. Like, I invest everything. So it's like, again, doing the math, how much gets invested, especially over time.
No, we can't do math. I don't want you to put your.
I'm saying no, I'm not. But I'm saying like me doing the math from the time frame, how much invested every month, you know, how dollar cost average and everything. I'm gonna be great. I'm not worried about a pension, and that's no offense to those who have a job, right? Because like that's on them, and I respect that. Like, that's what they decide to do. But for me, I don't see the need for it. I don't see the need for working 50 years and just to collect like a few dollars pension. Fuck that. That's just me.
No, nobody does. Nobody ever does.
Right.
And that's fine. I just, because you said it yourself, like the market is volatile. Like, I don't want you to get to a point where you're like 55 and all of a sudden we had like another Great Depression.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, so another thing, trading is recession proof. Like, I don't care about.
It's recession proof?
Hell yeah. I don't give a damn if it's recession or not.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that, Mara?
Let me say this.
I know nothing. I'm with the audience.
So let me say this, right? So for starters, it's a skill set, right? So as long as I have the skill set, I'm going to be great. And like, even this whole shit right now, like I took a huge blow with this whole FTX shit, which is crypto and everything. But again, I have the ability to trade, so which has helped me out. But besides that, though, back to what I was saying, like, again, I'm not going to say I don't care when it comes to, like, again, because people's lives are affected when we have a recession. So I don't want to come off as if like, oh, I don't care recession. Financially, I'm not concerned about that because I know if we have a recession, I know how to short the market. I know how to buy the market. Like, I have that skill set. So I'm not worried about if that happens, how are we going to survive from that? No, I'm not worried about that at all. So I was like, I think
how does a trader survive a recession?
Well, with their skill set, right? So again, like when the opportunity sets, you got to execute. So like, let's say the market's going down, you want to sell the market. The market's going up, you want to buy the market. And that's how a trader within any market, it doesn't matter if we're in a recession. It doesn't matter if we're in, a bull market, a bear market, you survive by executing from what you know. And you just got to understand that, your execution will either help you out or it's going to make you, go into a deeper hole.
All right. So I guess I'll give you my personal experience. So here's where I am right now, right? I'm not in the trading journey like you, but I wouldn't even say a lot. I put a significant amount of money in Amazon in 2021, right?
I like to use basic numbers like 100 or 1,000.
All right. So
basic numbers.
Let's say All right. So let's say I put $1,000 in Amazon, right? Put $1,000 in Amazon in 2021.
Okay,
100. Just say 100.
Fuck it, 100, 1,000, whatever. I put for these circumstances, I put $100, right? I put $100 in Amazon back in 2021,
right?
And Clyde, Rich is laughing. Clyde is laughing because this is the first time I brought up Amazon during our podcast journey. Just that Amazon is currently screwed me, and I want to find a way to get out.
All right, so here's all right. So I see where this is going. So you put your money in Amazon. Obviously, Amazon is down right now. You want to get out.
I bought it on a high, and right now we're really low. Like I'm about to back the chains on the street kind of low. You know what I mean?
All right. So for starters, and those who are listening, I don't recommend you invest money that you can't afford to lose. right? I don't give a damn if you think this is gonna go. I don't care if Bitcoin, if we're back at, and Bitcoin was at 3,000, let's say it's 2020, right? And Bitcoin is back at around 3,000 area. If you can't afford to lose that money, don't go into Bitcoin. Obviously, we know Bitcoin went to 69,000. Everyone says, "Oh, I wish I would have got into it," but no, you can't say that, right? Because like at that time, what you knew at that time, what you were financially going through, you didn't make the investment because of your situation. So it's nothing wrong with missing an investment because you're not financially able to do so. Like that right there is a great investment to not make the investment. So back to what you're saying with Amazon,
that's great. You know what, Rich? That is a bar. That is a bar we're going to use.
Here we go, another bar. Okay, I like that.
Sometimes the great investment we make is to not make an investment because I swear, Jeff Bezos, I'm attached to him at the hip. I'm looking at whatever he does because I'm like, whatever he does affects my wallet now. You know what I mean?
CEO, but I see you're saying. But even that too is like, if all right, so right now, if you take this money out, right, because you're already down. So if you take this money out, you're gonna take that out.
It's a loss. It's a loss. Right.
If you don't take the money out, and let's say initially Amazon goes up, then eventually over time you're going to be good. I mean, let's be real. Amazon over time is going to be a good investment.
That's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm banking on.
But we're like, it's over time though. Like this is what, 2 years? Like chill, bro. Like you're good. You're good.
I like your confidence, Mr. Kelly.
Here's the thing though. Like 2020 changed everything, right? Because as an investor, like, yeah, we see our returns like this. That's not the norm, right? The norm is to see your returns over time.
I thought in 2021.
I'm saying from 2020 forward, it changed how things are. Because now the market is so damn volatile. Like, this is not normal, though. So obviously with that, things have changed, but you don't want to change. Like, it's over time, bro. Like, you're gonna make money over time. Like, but again, if you like moving forward though, like there's a lesson. So like if you have money that you can't financially afford to lose, just don't invest it into anything. But right now, like you're in Amazon. I don't know what you got in that. We don't have to go deep.
Let's say it's $100. We put $100 in Amazon.
No, I mean the price you got into it. I mean, I know again it's public, so we can probably talk that about privately, and I can help you out with that. But besides that, though, bro, like initially, is going to over time you're gonna be good. But as of right now, you gotta weather the storm, bro. It's
right.
Investing.
Have you ever put money into something?
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, you've talked about it before. You talked about it like in your low days. Like, how do you? I guess psychologically, how do you hold on? Like, how do you?
Again, that's what I say as well, right? So I recommend dollar cost average.
Said it already.
So, but I'll say it again. That's fine. I recommend dollar cost average if you want to get into the markets, and the reason why is because dollar cost average is you have it set with like either. You have all right, so either every day, every week, every month, every so forth, right? You have a set amount that you have that's going to get withdrawn from your bank account and is going to go into the market, right? That's dollar cost average. That right there is the easiest way to get into the market. Why? Because again, like let's say if you dollar cost average of like I don't know, say 100, like we're doing $100 per week, right? Let's do that, or let's do per month, $100 per month. You don't give a damn what happens every month. $100 is going to go into the market. So again, over time, you're gonna have more value that you own of that share or of that crypto, whatever it is. You're gonna have more that you own of that. But besides that, though, is like over time you're gonna see the gains. Don't aim to see gains by next week or by midnight. Don't focus on that. Focus on over time. So like again, back to me, bro. Yeah, like how I go about it. Turn that shit off, man. I don't like, bro. It's so difficult. Again, it's your money at the end of the day. Like initially, yeah, it's not really yours until you make a withdrawal, but nobody wants to see that bread down, bro. Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody ever does. Like,
you have to stomach that you are going to have down days, down weeks, down months. This is part of the game, bro. Like you got to stomach that. This is part of the game. Like this is what investing is. Not every investment is going to go in your favor, and that sucks because obviously, like we want every investment to go in our favor, but not every investment is going to go in our favor, and that's okay. So it's like, again, if you can't afford to lose this money, don't make the investment. Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing to do. The best advice I can say for anyone watching this, if you cannot afford to make the investment, do not make the investment. Because again, if I invest, what's 100? If I invest $100 into, I don't know, let's do Amazon, into Amazon. And let's say it goes down to like 0. If it's going to fuck me up, it was a bad investment. If I can take that loss,
I almost feel like, honestly, I feel like I got to go to an STD clinic because I feel like Jeff Bezos personally fucked me with no lube. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
I gotta check in somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's bad. It's bad.
Here's the thing, too, bro. Like I lost a shitload of bread with FTX shit, right? I'm not saying SBF personally fucked me over. Like, yeah, shit just didn't go my favor. And well, he scammed a lot of shit, so I could actually say that.
Right. So wait, your money. So wait. I don't mean to detract. So your money was tied into the whole FTX thing.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you handle that?
I'm still handling it. Like this shit is fresh, bro. Like I'm gonna be honest, this shit is fresh. But again, I had the honestly, trading really saved me. If I was not trading, I'll be a very fucked up situation. But trading saved me. And then I had a very great week this week too. But yeah, trading saved my life, especially my financial life with everything going on. But besides that though, like, yeah, bro, like if you cannot afford to lose $100 or $1,000, you said that, then you should have made the investment. If you could afford it, because again, whenever someone's making money, we think it's gonna stay like that, right? Oh, I made $1,000 with this. I'm doing the Amazon, it's going up. It ain't ever gonna go down. Like it's gonna go down though. Like that shit gonna happen. So again, like if you can't stomach that, and again, it may take you, I don't know, it may take you like a year to get your money back, or even in a break even. Like that might happen, bro.
I feel like I'm not gonna get my money back until we're out of this recession. Which honestly is going to be like possible. 2, 3, 4 years.
I don't know about 2, 3, 4 years, but I mean, I think we're on track to see the fall of America. But I don't know how deep we're going to have this conversation.
That's deep. That's another podcast. That's a bar, and that's another podcast. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. It's a bar and another podcast.
Yeah, it's this country's a shit show. Legit, though. It is though. It's a shit show.
No, yeah, it really is. So. Rich, I got tons of questions. Please ask some before I just like go off the rails.
You're good because this we're like you.
Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable?
I'm good, and that's why like whoever's listening, I'm also going back because I don't want them to be like, well, this just happened and that happened. I'm like, no, this didn't happen and that happened after. It was a step for that to happen.
Right. That's what we started with before you even became a worker for the kids. Like how you started, how you grew up, what got you into trading. Like we want to get the whole linear story and make a couple of stops in between, but we want to get the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the ending, when we close out, what the questions is, and now ask it again. It's going to be your final thoughts. Your social, how can they contact you? Your social media handles, and talk about your course and everything.
Okay,
but go ahead, Nyron.
Oh, thank you. All right. So I'll just.
You got mad excited. Go ahead.
No, because I it's how often do we get to talk to people that's in it, who's doing the whole thing.
Offline, I got you, bro. We can really keep it going. I'm good.
All right. Like so
my wife is still out, and I'm good. I set enough time today. I canceled the rest of my plans. I figured I didn't know how long it was gonna go. And it's funny. My wife was saying, so she's like, "How long is it?" I was like, "I don't know." She was like, "You know,
we're 48 minutes in. Like we're deep in.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes in.
Oh shit! So, I see it. Oh, girl's right there. Oh, wow. Goddamn.
We're 10 minutes in. Yeah, after 10 minutes, this cuts off.
Oh, it does. Oh, that sucks.
Go ahead.
All right. So I think I have a clear idea of who you are and your structure and stuff. And like while you're trading, you don't have a normal 9 to 5, but you give yourself an income as if you do have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, bi-weekly. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, perfect. We talked about your long-term goals. So I guess for our audience members, and I don't know if this is like insider trading or trades to the secrets or whatever, but like, can you give us some insight into what sort of stocks you're looking at for the future? Like what?
So again, when it comes to stocks, I focus on value as an investor. I don't trade stocks. So
right.
Like, when it comes
all right. So then, like, as an investor, then, what are you looking at for the prospective future? Like, what holds your eye?
I think that like again, for those who are new to this, I think you should go into the S&P. I think that's like a best investment for you. Apple's gonna be great. You can't lose with Apple. You can't lose with Microsoft.
Can you lose with Amazon? Can you lose with Amazon?
Eventually, like over time, I don't think so. I think you'll be fine, bro.
Okay.
We're gonna talk offline though. I'm gonna just like really dissect your position and everything. I think it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, over time, yeah, I think like Apple is great. What did I say? Microsoft, Google, Nvidia is great as well. Obviously, the S&P. I recommend first S&P before anything else. Before you do individual stocks, you want to go with the index. I think that we are going to take a huge hit next year. I think that right now we're seeing like a nice little bull run, mainly because of holidays, also because like politics and a lot of other bullshit that's going on that's causing the markets to rise. So initially, what I think is like, I think that they're like they're having their friends and stuff like get your money now, right? So we're gonna have a nice bull run, and I want to say maybe probably around March we should have like a nice little dive, and then from there I should start everything else. So around like tax season when everybody got their bread, I think from there we'll have a start.
I think why? Because theoretically, if people get their taxes back, shouldn't they have more spending power?
Nyron, I need you to marinate what he just said. He just said in 2023. Now, mind you, this is not the first time. You're not the only one that said this, right? Mostly investors and huge fund, the people that hedge funds and everything invest in the stock market, says in 2023 we're going to see a dive in the stock market.
I think we're on track to be. I think we're going to have somewhere between the Great Depression and a Great Recession, or the Great Recession, Great Depression. I think that it's crazy because we're already doing worse.
Here first at the DC Incentives podcast. You better hold on to your money tight.
We're already on, like, we already surpassed the Great Recession, but for some weird reason, nobody wants to admit that. Like this country's a shit show. Like, honestly though, it really is. But I think that is going to be extremely bad. I don't want to be that person who's like, like Chicken Little, sky is falling, but I think the sky's gonna fall. I think the sky's gonna fall a lot. I think that a lot of people are gonna be fucked up. I think that people now, they're just like spending their money on shit that they don't really need, like as a lot of liabilities. I think that they need to start like protecting their capital. I think they need to save more money. They need to get out of debt quickly, and yeah, that's what I think. I truly think that things are going to get really, really bad. And best case scenario, what happened in 2008, that's going to happen. That's best case scenario.
I hear you. And if you look at the history of markets outside of the Great Depression, we've never really hit a low like the Great Recession, right? And when you have such a market high after a Great Recession, you're going to get a really low. So that makes sense. Like all of that tracks. But like from an investor standpoint, I always hear and I always read that whenever there's a recession or whenever there's an economic downturn, there's opportunity. So I'm thinking from your perspective, with all of your experience and all of your knowledge, you're probably like licking your chops thinking, I can't wait for that recession because this is where I could really.
So even so, right? Like, and that's the reason why you buy low, right? So when these things happen, the thing about it is that people, the market is going to initially recover. It's going to, like, it's not going to stay down forever. Maybe a year, maybe it's going to recover. Can you stomach that hold though? That's what it boils down to. Can you wait it out? If you can't wait it out, it's not for you. But besides that, I mean, even right now, besides alcohol's averaging, I mean, I'm just holding out. I'm waiting for a lot of shit to get cheaper and for a lot of things to, get fucked over. But I mean, it's the truth though. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I do think that it's going to be worse than the Great Depression. I do. It's so many red flags that we have, and I think initially we'll have the fall of this country, and we're on track to have the fall of this country anyway. But that,
I don't want to get too deep into that, but like, can you talk about some of the signs you see? Can you talk about some of the signs you see?
Yeah, so for starters, credit card debt, it reached another all-time high. It's been on, like, we keep reaching all-time highs of credit card debt. The last reading we got was 930 billion credit card debt. Consumer debt continues to rise. People's savings is lower than we had in 2008. So again, like if we have lower savings in 2008, come on, and we're spending more money, and credit card debt is more, like, these are signs they're showing you. So again, like you can, whatever data they're showing that things is good, that's not true, right? Like inflation continues getting high. Inflation is not actually as low as we're being told. The way we go about inflation and how it's calculated is not the same. So because of that, that is the reason why inflation is this low. But it's actually, put it this way, whatever inflation is, you just double it. But besides that as well, things are just getting worse for the average individual. Like, again, for you, the average individual needs to have 2 jobs to just make ends meet. That is not a good economy. how the hell can that be a good economy? So like, if you put these things into perspective, these are all flags that are showing you that shit is bad. We're just like, again, the market is just ran up by just debt, and then just spraying more money. That money got to get paid somehow.
Yeah.
So it's like, how's that money going to get paid? Like, what's going to happen? So I was like, all these things, though. But I know we only have like 6 minutes. I'm looking at the shit now. I'm sorry about that. But I'll be happy to part 2 to go this. But yeah, I would have, bro. Because I thought we were going to go into the economy, but we forgot about that. But
okay. So you're talking about a part 2, and this time we're going to talk about the economy. You want to set that up?
I'm 100% down for that.
You want to? All right, hold on for a second.
I can't give you a date right now.
Let's go.
We ain't gonna do that.
All right, so listen, this is what we're going to do. We 5 minutes in. Final thoughts, and what's your social media handles?
Okay. Oh, me final thoughts. Oh,
yes. You're the guest. That's it.
Yeah. Give me questions. Final thoughts, as if like, I mean, this was a great experience. I said it before. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm also able to deliver a lot of value to those who are listening. And I also want to have a part 2 because I know for a fact a lot of things were like, in and out. And I just want to be clarified with everything and help whoever needs it. Training wise as well. Again, you don't need to get educated. You could get educated. Again, if you want to go faster and further, you do want to get education. Besides that, if you want to go the free route, I gave you guys a free route like babypiss.com on YouTube. Follow all my social handles on Twitter, Twitter and Instagram. I'm not really on TikTok. But Twitter and Facebook, it's at Hansome Kelly _1_. So it's HANSOMEKELLY 1_. So and the reason I'm saying that is because there's so many fake pages about me. It's not me. I'm never going to DM you asking you for money, asking you to invest with me, asking you for me, let me trade your money. I'm never doing that. Be wary of those things. Instagram said that they're actually not doing anything wrong, which is fucking insane because like they impersonated me. How did I do anything wrong? But besides that though, yeah. So on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Hansome Kelly _. On Facebook, it's Hansome Kelly. TikTok, funny enough, TikTok, Hansome Kelly _ is actually taken. So it's a fake page of me that actually has Hansome Kelly _. And a lot of things that I put out on Instagram that has Hansome Kelly _, they post it on TikTok. And people think that it's me.
You at all?
It's nothing I can do. I mean, it's like nothing I can do. So I have a TikTok. I forgot. It's Hansome Kelly something. I don't know if it's like, I don't know what it is. Handsome Kelly something. But I don't really use it, so I'm not going to promote that. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, that's really where I'm at socially. My website is hansomekelly.com. If you go into that, I don't recommend my course for anyone. And the main reason why is because like I don't want anyone to just come along because people just like, they just bullshit. So like my course is for someone who's like really trying to take it serious. I'm going to make you the trader you want to go into, give you the results you do. But again, I have a course to show you how to trade the markets. That is my Forex Trading Simplified course. Again, it's on my website, hansomekelly.com. And yeah, that's my stuff.
All right. So that's the end of that's the end of the episode, y'all. That's it. Yo, thank you, Hansome Kelly. Everybody know. Yo, all right. So the next one, so we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this offline, and this one is gonna be about talking about the economy. Plus, 2023 is coming, and this is what this is the December 3rd. So yeah, we're gonna set this up.
I'm very eager.
We really didn't get too much, and I wanted to talk about this, like your path to like mentorship and training. Like we didn't get
a lot of that stuff is what's missing out. Like
right. So we're gonna come back to that.
Right there is very important.
I know it's huge.
Like,
I know
the numbers. The numbers is great, making that money and stuff. But again, the brick by brick process to me get there, that is extremely important. A lot of it we didn't get into. That's another reason why we're still part 2 as well.
Right. No, you got it.
I'm very eager to talk about the economy, mainly because I breathe and sleep my fundamental brain and how well I can read the markets. So I just love doing that. So that's gonna help me out and help our audience as well to see where I'm at. And I called out so much shit. Well, my students can tell you as well. I called out so much shit. I didn't call out COVID, but I definitely called out a whole market drop. Obviously, I didn't think COVID was going to be it, but a lot of shit I called out, it helped out in my favor. You know, it went right. No, I didn't call out COVID. I didn't think it was going to be COVID, but I knew for a fact that Trump was going to win, mainly because I knew we were bound to get into a recession. we have to get in a recession. I've been saying, actually, I said this publicly.
Yeah,
I have said this on Facebook too, that we like Trump's not going to win. The main reason why is because we are going to get in a recession. It just so happened. I didn't think that was going to be COVID that caused it, but hey, that's what we got. But yeah, we can talk about the signs I saw into that as well. It was too many flags that showing that we was down to get into it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'll do that in part 2.
All right.
All right. So that's the end of the episode, y'all. Already know what it is. All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.